I just want to walk you through your career, which at such a young age, you've had such a range of experiences and so much success. But, you know, I know that you had worked as a child, but then About a Boy is when it's like 2002, I want to say.
Yeah, about that, yeah.
And you're working with Hugh Grant, who, by the way, has had this. I mean, he started out as one type of performer in romantic comedies, and now he's found this whole other sweet spot that I find extremely admirable. He is so good.
His recent one's coming out soon, right?
Heretic, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw the trailer. It looks great.
It looks amazing.
I maintain, and I have many people, I think many people will agree with me, Paddington 2, and it sounds like I'm making a joke.
So good.
Paddington 2 might be a perfect movie.
Yeah.
And I think it has a score on Rotten Tomatoes of just absolute perfection. Yeah. I've watched Paddington 2 several times looking for a flaw. There isn't one. But Hugh Grant is so delightfully, insanely over the... He's having such a good time.
It's brilliant. He is truly brilliant.
But you worked with him, you were young, 10, 11, 12, something like that. You're working with Hugh Grant, and he taught you by observing him, you learned from him.
I still think the other day I was thinking about, and I think a lot of my sense of humor probably stems down a little bit from him. Mm-hmm. And also just, you know, how he was on set. He was so dedicated to the work and professional and kind and good with everyone, and just really, really deeply cared about doing a good job himself and making the film good. And I think I couldn't have had a better experience at that sort of age, in terms of just learning and watching people and being like, okay, this is how it's supposed to be and how it's supposed to be
done. That you'd have to put in the work.
Yeah.
To get to the fun part, you need to prepare, you need to be on it.
Yeah, and also it's that thing of like, you know, you end up on set sometimes where people won't come out of trailers and this and that, and there's just extra kind of ego business going on, and there wasn't any of that. So I think good to have, you know, good behavior around it, that sort of, you know.
You lost me with this whole line of reasoning. I had a trailer put upstairs in this office just so I could not come out of it. But half the time, no one wants me to come out of it.
It's a win-win.
Yeah. I wasn't familiar with this show you did when you were an adolescent, Skins. I don't really know that show, but it became huge in the UK.
Yeah.
And that was a little difficult for you to handle because you're an adolescent and suddenly it's this.
Yeah, I don't think any of us were prepared for how well that show would do. And I stand by this. Somebody was asking me about that show the other day, and I was saying, I think the reason that it did kind of capture the moment so well is because it wasn't expected to be what it was. Mm-hmm. You know, I feel like more commonly now when shows kind of showing the teen way of life and whatever, and they're going to show everything and it's going to be hardcore and all this sort of stuff, there's kind of this idea of what it's going to be and how it's going to fit into the zeitgeist early. Whereas that was kind of like, we're just going to make this show. We're all kind of messing around.
Yeah.
It's a good bunch of people, very talented bunch and great writing, but it's kind of like nothing's expected of it.
Yes.
And then it did kind of blow up in a way that I feel like it still kind of gets watched by some people now. I've never actually seen it.
But you were young to be experiencing that kind of attention.
I was 16 or 17, and I guess it was around then that maybe camera phones and stuff were starting to kind of come out as well. And it was a weird transition, because up until then, I'd basically most of the time just been able to live my life very normally. And I still can mostly day to day. It's being recognized as kind of a weird, it goes in weird waves. I don't know if you find this, but it's like, if you've had something out recently or you've been on people's screens, then maybe they recognize you. Otherwise, people just look at me like maybe we went to school together. But at that period, because that show was very popular, like with my age group and everything as well, it was kind of, it felt like I was under scrutiny a lot.
Yeah. So if you're going out, you just want to have a drink, hang out with friends.
Yeah.
You have to accept that someone might be recording you.
Yeah, it was a weird transition. I didn't particularly enjoy that. At all.
I think it's healthy not to enjoy that.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of people who'd be 15, 16, 17 and think, boy, if I could be famous right now and get that kind of attention at an age when, you know, you want attention, wouldn't that be amazing? And so often it's not.
Yeah. I don't know. What kind of attention do people want?
Well, let me explain my problem.
Come to the master.
Here we go.
You're talking about getting recognized. I wear a hat that says I am Conan O'Brien wherever I go. Stop me and ask for a selfie. Yeah, I think it's all about, you've had this interesting education where you were getting probably attention and working as a child, then you're a teenager, but then you've handled it all really well. You've done, I was thinking of your performance in Mad Max.
Yeah.
As, first of all, when I first saw that, I didn't even realize it was you.
Yeah. See, no one will recognize me from that.
Yeah, because you play Nux.
Yeah.
And Nux is this terrific character. You lost so much weight for that. And the backstory, first of all, I love that movie.
Yeah, it's a
we
great
did
film.
a
I'm proud of that one.
parody of it when we were at Comic-Con once, where I play the Doof Warrior, who's the guy that we actually recreated. We shot it film style. We recreated that whole giant truck.
Yeah.
Do you remember this, Sona?
Yeah, I do.
I'm hanging off the front with an electric guitar and the white face and wearing the red onesie and shooting fire.
Do you still have the red onesie?
I'm wearing it now. But I'm wearing it
for everyone watching.
The red onesie's his new nickname.
Yeah. And I'm wearing it for medical reasons. But I'm shooting they gave me a guitar that shoots fire.
Real fire.
And then we were shooting it out in the desert, but after the first take they said, when you get near a telephone pole, turn off the fire. And I was like, what? And they were like, because otherwise you'll set the telephone poles off here in the desert outside Los Angeles on fire. And I went, no one thought, like, this is up to me. If I want to, I can take out the power grid with my electric guitar. But anyway, we did a whole parody of that, which was really fun to do. But I absolutely adore that film. And your character, I mean, talk about being able to lose yourself in a character. You lost a ton of weight to play Nux.
Yeah.
You're in this, because you're in this, everyone who's survived that apocalypse is sickly.
Mm-hmm.
And
Nux is meant to be kind of essentially on his deathbed the day that you meet him at the start of the film. Mm-hmm. So that was something George asked me to do, was to lose some weight. And I did get a strange body dysmorphia through that, where I didn't feel I was that skinny, and then looked back at photos and I was like, oh, you were very skinny. I didn't realize quite how far I'd gone with it.
And what was everyone has their own technique, but is that a kind of thing where literally you're working with a doctor and they're saying, okay, you can have a Tic Tac today? And then a little soup before bed?
It wasn't that. It was just not eating as much and just running tons and jumping rope and just not eating that much.
I wish there was a secret. Oh, I didn't eat as much. Fuck.
I think there is now, right?
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah. I'm going to get an Ozempic colonic.
Oh, God.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know. Maybe it'll go even faster if I go the other
what that means.
Go the other way.
What?
Not a
I'm just going to say
but a colonic.
A colonic.
Uh-huh.
I want that for other reasons.
They don't go together. Yeah. But the red onesie is going to be helpful throughout this.
Thank God I have that onesie on. When did you become...
One of my mates had to give himself a colonic. Like, that's when you shoot the stuff up to loosen everything.
Yes.
He had to do that in a hospital and then lost control. And they said you could do it himself. And he was like, okay, I'll do it. But then was on the floor of the bathroom in the hospital, cramping with feces everywhere.
Why did they say do it yourself?
Oh my God.
I don't know.
First of all, this story is much better if you identify your friend.
I can't. They're very famous.
It's got to be Hugh Grant.
It's Hugh Grant.
It's got to be.
Hugh Grant cramping, shitting all over the floor. You heard it here, folks. Let's get that out there.
It's not. Don't worry.
Too late. I'm editing your "it's not" out, and we're replacing it with an AI. Yes, it is.
Definitely him.
Oh, we got the soundbite.
Thank you. Now we're good.